So finally, Football Manager 25 has got a release date. There is no beta, which of course is a cause for concern. We're not going to get a chance to get a feel of the game, understand the gameplay, understand some of the mechanics, and look at what's new. So a little bit disappointed on that front. But nonetheless, on today's video, we are going to be looking at 5 teams you have to manage on FM25. There's some big names in there and a couple of rebuilds you might just want to undertake. And looking at our first team on this video brings us to the absolute behemoth, the monster of a club. What is Manchester United? Now, this is where you guys are going to come in. Can you be the successor to Erik ten Hag? Can you come in? Can you get this team, this club, back to greatness? Of course, they've got the foundations, they've got the finances, they've got the facilities, they've got the lot. Just really missing that manager to piece this puzzle together. Looking at this now, we don't need to touch on this too much. Reputation, one of the biggest clubs in the world, we know that. Training facilities, and youth recruitment are absolutely fantastic, which is of course going to help you build this team going forward. In real life, they are languishing in 13th position in the Premier League table. Football is not good. Performances haven't been good enough, which, in my opinion, with the group of players they have available, which Ten Hag has at the moment, they are not delivering. World-class players, Bruno Fernandes, they've got De Ligt, they've got, Marcus Rashford. Can you be the manager to come in and get Rashford to find his form once again? But the future's bright, be under no illusions. You're going to get backed if you take this job. You're going to get the money. And of course, you've got great young prospects coming through, like Xerxes, like Kobbie Mainoo, like Alejandro Garnacho. Now, if we look at Garnacho, his stats there, 19 years of age, 5-star potential ability. He is going to be an absolutely crucial part of what you are going to build when you come into Manchester United. The same goes for Kobbie Mainoo. Generational talent. Can you look to build a team around these two players as you go forward into your Manchester United career? But of course, with the youth, you do and will need that experience. But that's where, once again, we have Luke Shaw, keep holding, world-class left-back. You've got Fernandes, captain of the team. And like we said, you've got De Ligt there, a Dutch international, only 23 years of age, and an absolutely solid defensive player. And if this is the job for you, like we said, you are going to get backed by the board. Every year, you are going to get money to spend. We're starting off this season now with £70 million in the transfer kitty, £146,000 a week in wages. But of course, the more you succeed here, the more you build this team, the more money you're going to get. And be under no illusions, Ineos will back you. Now, lastly, on Manchester United, the club vision, I do not expect this to change too much come Football Manager 2025. The only thing they may try and change is they will want to qualify for the Champions League this season. They're not really too bothered about the Carabao. The FA Cup, yes, it is important to an extent, depending on how you get on in the league and, of course, in the Europa League as well. Are you going to take on the Manchester United challenge on Football Manager 25? Are you going to out Ten Hag? Are you going to come in? And are you going to get this club back to the top of world football? And team number 2 takes us to my club, the one and only Aston Villa, where if you are to take over this team in FM25, be under no illusions, guys, you've got some very big boots to fill indeed. Trying to take over from Unai Emery, who has taken Villa from relegation candidates to Champions League qualification. Now, this club has everything it needs to succeed. They're on an upward trajectory, but looking at these now, the only thing I would look to improve is the reputation as you go through the seasons. And hopefully, fingers crossed, you come in and bring a little bit of silverware to Aston Villa. It has been a very long time. But training facilities and the youth setup is absolutely superb. Slight improvement is needed, but everything you need is there. Now, when you arrive on FM25, this will be the squad you will inherit. Overall, absolutely superb. You've got the likes of John Duran. You've got Morgan Rogers, who in my opinion on this game does and will get an upgrade on FM25. But back to the top we go. Martinez in goal. World number one, in my opinion, World Cup winner, absolutely superb. Only 30 years of age for a goalie, get plenty more years in the tank for Dibbo. Up next is Pau Torres, solid centre half. Really can look to build the team around this guy. But overall, there was absolutely quality in abundance. If we have a look at the transfer history, bringing in the likes of Nedeljkovic, Rogers, they've got Amadou Onana, Ian Mapton as well. Now, since Villa lost Douglas Luiz, they wanted a little bit more power in the centre of that midfield. And they get that with this guy. The Belgian international is an absolute monster so far this season. It's very, very exciting. There's another player I do want to touch on quickly. If we just change it up now, is of course Ollie Watkins, who really is going to be the spearhead of your attack in this side. Can you get the best out of Ollie? Can you get him firing on all cylinders? So overall, absolutely superb squad. There's room to grow. How far can you get in the Champions League with Aston Villa? Do you dare to dream of glory? Now, the next club we are going to look at is Everton Football Club, the mighty Toffees, with an absolutely fantastic history, winning 9 Premier Divisions, 1 European Cup and 5 FA Cups. But over the past few years have found themselves languishing towards the bottom end of the Premier League table, and is the trapdoor eventually going to get Everton? The fans deserve better. This club deserves better. Yes, I'm a Villa fan, but Everton I do have a soft spot for, and I want to see them get better and improve. If you are going to come in, you'll be taking over from Sean Dyche, and this squad is very, very much in need of an improvement. Player-wise, personnel needs to change. Potentially could be a complete top to bottom rebuild, clearing out a lot of the deadwood and bringing in the right players to come away from this, what I like to call dodgeball, negative, sitting back in, hitting on the break. Everton can do better than that. But if we look overall at the competitions, this won't really alter too much, I don't think, from FM25. They're going to be expected to avoid relegation. Can they have a little bit of a cup run there to put a smile on some of those fans' faces? This is the squad you will inherit when you take over at Everton Football Club. They've got some very, very good young players in this team that are going to grow into the game and grow into the side and improve as you go through the seasons. But starting off, first of all, Jared Braithwaite. Very, very bright future ahead of this kid. Was wanted by Manchester United. Can you keep hold of this guy? I'm expecting him to get a massive upgrade as we go into FM25. They've got Patterson. They've got people like Undié, who's looked very, very bright this season. But there's a lot of players in here, personally, I would clear out. The likes of Idrissa Gueye. Calvert-Lewin is an injury prospect all the time. Never fit as long as you need him to be. Coleman has been a great servant for Everton Football Club. Maybe it's time he steps away and lets some of the younger players come through. But overall, this could be a top to bottom rebuild. Are you going to be the manager to come in, step up and bring Everton back to their former glory? On to the next team, bring us to Birmingham City, and as much as this pains me to say, being an Aston Villa fan, they're a club that are definitely on the up. They're getting the backing of the new owners. They're in League One. I expect them to fully run away with this division. But as a whole club in general, they've got plenty of room to grow. Can you grow the reputation? Can you look to improve all the facilities here at Birmingham City? You're definitely going to have the finances to do it. And not only that, regarding honours, at Birmingham City, they are the last club in the Midlands. Well, I think it's said all word this now. They've won a trophy, the most recent, when they beat Arsenal in the Carling or Carabao Cup. It was many, many years ago, and that's their bragging right. So Villa, please win us a trophy, so they haven't got that anymore. But anyway, back to Birmingham City. It's a very, very exciting save. When you come in, you are going to look to dominate League One, as we'll have a look at shortly, the league table and the league preview. Can you do what Ipswich done and do back-to-back promotions, take Birmingham City from League One into the Championship, spend accordingly as you need to, where necessary, and bounce them straight back into the Premier League? The squad you inherit when you come into Birmingham City is a very, very good squad and levels above everybody else in the division, especially being able to keep hold of a player like Christian Bielik, a centre-half, can play in DM, very, very good player, and a good player for the Championship, as if and when you can take them up. But overall, they've spent some money. They've spent a lot of money since the relegation. but it's all a means to an end. They want to bounce right back, and they've brought in some fantastic players. Paik looks like a solid player. They've brought in Iwata, another very, very good player as well. There's a couple of players on here. One notable one is Jay Stansfield, not on this update at the moment, but of course on FM25 he will be. But they've also got this man up front, Alfie May, who seems to be just putting goals home for fun, and I expect him or Stansfield to be top of the pile of most goals scored in League One come the end of the season. The expectations for Birmingham City, I don't think alter too much from this on FM25. They're going to be expected to win the league with their money spent. I think that is a given, and I think it will be a fairly easy thing to do. But, you know, football's not played on paper, it's played on the field. So if you come in, make sure you get promoted. Otherwise, it could be the sack for you. All the other domestic competitions, they're not really bothered about. All they really want to do is get back into the Sky Bet Championship the first time of asking. But if we look at Sky Bet League One now and we get to season preview, you can see they're 2-9 on to get promoted, and they pretty much dominate the media Dream 11. So fully expect, if you are going to come in, it will be a bit of a walk in the park, and you can get Birmingham City back to the Championship. Now, last but certainly not least, brings us to Wrexham. Now, this club found themselves playing non-league football not too long ago. They found themselves flourishing in Sky Bet League One. They've got the A-list celebrities that own the club. They've got the Hollywood superstars. They've got the Hollywood millions as well. So a club definitely on the rise. Can you come in, step up and continue the growth here at Wrexham? There's a lot of stuff you do need to improve, especially looking at that there. Look at the youth facilities and youth recruitment going forward, but it's not critical you do that. Wrexham pretty much buy the players they need. They're not really looking to bring for the youth setup at the current moment, but that can be something you look to improve going forward. Now, looking at the expectations, I only expect one thing to potentially change going forward into FM25, and it would be the expectation for the finish in the Sky Bet League One. It says top half on here. I think they're going to want to at least push for the playoffs, so I think that will change. But all the other domestic trophies, they're not really of any importance. They want to really look to dominate and control this league and potentially get another promotion, which would be absolutely huge for Wrexham Football Club. The squad you do have is not quite as good as Birmingham City's, which you expect with the amount of money they spend, but nonetheless, they've got some absolutely quality players in here. A nice blend of youth and experience, bringing in the likes of Jack Marriott there. But you've also got Paul Mullin, you've got the experience of James McLean. But I think this guy here, if you can keep him fit, he will score goals for fun in this league. Who else they got? Fletcher, and they've got this guy who's very good. I believe he was ex-Manchester United, Oliver Rathbone. You might want to look to build a team around this guy in the centre of the park. Really good player. Yeah, they bought him from Rotherham. From Rotherham. Very good League One player. So overall, there's some real quality in there, and I think this club is much better than a mid-table finish. Definitely, if you can come in, get the tactics right, keep the squad happy, can you be the person to take these into the glory days once again? Or even dare to dream in a couple of seasons of maybe even going to the Premier League with Wrexham Football Club. So there it is, guys. 5 potential teams to manage on FM25. Are you going to take over Manchester United and look to get them back to Champions League winning glory days? Are you going to look to take over at Birmingham or Wrexham and get them into the Premier League? Let me know down below in the comments who you are going to start off your FM25 journey with. And of course, make sure you give the video a solid thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because as you know, guys, it is going to be giveaway time. I will be getting rid of 1 copy of FM25, and it's for subscribers only. So make sure you sub to the channel to get your name in the hat. Until next time, guys, peace out.